I woke up feeling fly today. Got dressed in the mirror and I had to say, girl, you look good today. Don't care how you feeling, 'cause I was born this way.
Can I have your attention for a minute? Can I use my words to mesmerize your thoughts? And although some people may feel like this is egotistical, can I just explain to you how you're bold and heroic? In case you didn't know it, I just thought I would let you know it. Honey, you're beautiful. You're like a ray of sunshine on any given day. And your award-winning smile and style has the ability to make darkness fade away. You're the bravest person I ever laid eyes on. So go on with your bad self. I commend you for shuffling and dealing with the cards that you were dealt. Even with a half a deck, you handled it so well, you managed to surprise your own self. Give yourself a round of applause and a standing ovation. You deserve this plus more for the way you dominate and how you rise to every occasion. I just want to say congratulations, you were the underdog, yet you still became a master in elevation. Determination should be your middle name. I just love the way you sustain and how you don't let that negative chatter occupy space in your brain. It's plain to see that you are a remarkable and very unique human being. Who wouldn't? I mean, who couldn't love somebody like me?
Woke up and I'm feeling okay. Woke up and I'm feeling okay. Woke up and I'm feeling okay. Woke up and I'm feeling okay.
They say beauty is skin deep, but yet the world judge you by a beat. And whether you're petite, I say through all this defeat, I will still love you unconditionally. I'm not worried what others say about me. I'm a child of God and I am free to be who He called me to be. Boldly I walk with His light shining through me. When I step out the door, I pray that all my enemies will bow down before me.
I'm feeling okay. Woke up and I'm feeling okay. Woke up, we woke up feeling fly today. Got dressed in the mirror and we had to say, oh, we look good today. Don't care how you feel, 'cause we were born this way. We woke up feeling fly.
We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly.
'Hello. How we doing? All right. We have something special for y'all today, so you better tune in. Make sure you share this video, because we finna really get deep. We're going to be having 2 live guests here. We're going to have AM FIIRE, which we're going to be bringing in just a minute. And we're also going to have Mr. Robinson, who is going to also be stepping into the studio as well. So make sure you tune in, have your drinks ready, your snacks ready, because it's about to get deep. And make sure that you're by your cell phones, because we're going to announce the winner today. So here we go with our next guest.
I was broken, what I thought was doing my creation at the hands of the universal master before the beginning of time. And I realized my life was pieced together. I just want to know how well you are. 72-hour medical hold for mental health evaluation. Mental health? Wait a minute, who's gonna take care of my kids? That's all they have. Dear 24-year-old me, I love you. Sometimes the things that we used to do didn't make no sense. sometimes we felt like a broken masterpiece. Sometimes we felt like a broken masterpiece.
Mental health, no cure.
I felt lost, scared, and once again alone when the doctor finally walked in to have a conversation with me. Miss Nias, could you give me an example of what's been going on so we can piece this together? I just finished nursing school with a 3.5 GPA, single mom with 2 toddlers while full-time in the U.S. Army. Why would I pull in front of a semi-truck?
No cure.
At this point in my life, that just doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't add up. I'm a black woman, a mother, divorced now, but I was his wife. Wait a minute, who has my kids? Who has my kids? Who has my kids up on him?
I don't look
Racing thoughts, Doc. I've been having racing thoughts. I haven't slept in days. I'm spending money that I don't have. Sex, did I tell you about racing thoughts and I'm spending money that I don't have? I haven't slept in days. One minute I'm crying and feeling so hopeless. Takes a force greater than I have or that I even know to get out of bed. Next, in a blink of an eye, I'm on top of the world. I can do any and everything. During those times, I don't need much sleep. Now, my thoughts are still racing, and I'm all over the place, but I'm okay. I feel like I'm just invincible.
mental health, no cure.
Wait a minute. It all makes sense. What, Doc? Bipolar? What? Mental illness? Was
Hereditary.
stamped on my forehead 27 years ago. And that was a hard reality to accept because I was sick.
No
I didn't
cure.
look sick, but I felt the pain. I heard in a place no one could reach or see. Depression and mania became the worlds I lived in for over 26 years. I'm a broken masterpiece. Bipolar, PTSD, and anxiety. When I finally lay down for my final sleep, I pray my soul only God will see. Guys, will I have questions to ask him? Or will I wake up and realize that this was all a dream?
Mental illness, no cure. Mental illness, no cure.
All right. We got Miss Fire in the studio.
How you doing?
Yes. And so for y'all can know for the record, that is with 3 eyes because what?
Because I'm just that hot.
Yes.
Which, you know what? We changed it up. The hot stands for humble,
Mm,
open,
yes.
and I'm transparent.
All right. Love it. Yes. Now, we just got through playing one of your tracks on there. Could you
Yes.
tell us a little bit about that one there?
Well, I thought when I got the diagnosis of bipolar and PTSD and anxiety, you get the stigma attached to it way back when I was 24, because I'm 52 now.
Right.
Was
And she don't look it either, do she? She look good.
thank you, Spicee, just like you.
Thank you.
I felt like there was no hope.
Right.
But in the back of my mind, I was like, but I'm a masterpiece.
Right.
But okay, so I'm broken. And it was a hard 72 hours because I had never left my children ever,
Right.
except to, go to work or something, but for 3 days.
Wow.
And still to this day, with it being such a traumatic experience, I don't remember where they are.
Wow.
Because the body pretends to protect itself.
Exactly. It's like building up these walls to where you don't look on the other side.
Yes. And sometimes, when I through a lot of therapy, they've let me know that it was just my body protecting me.
Yes.
My mind was probably like, whatever was going on, we don't need her to go through that right now.
Exactly. Yes. So was it hard for you to write this track here?
Yes.
Because I know
I
a lot
was
of times writing it could take you back to that history.
Yes. And then I was in the bed for about 3 days.
Mm.
Didn't get up, no shower,
Mm.
barely ate, because those are wounds that I was opening. And so Burnt Love Letters to Myself, each one is like a baby.
Yes.
And then I started just walking through the journey. And when I would leave the studio, I would just sit there and, okay, we have these new tools.
Yes.
Let's use them. Be gentle with yourself. Self-soothe. You know, because back in the day, I'd go to get a drink.
Right.
And I would just push it to the side because I wanted to be numb. But now I want to live.
Yes.
Yes. And I want to feel the beautifulness, the masterpiece that God put within me.
Right. So tell me, at what point in your life was there a breaking point to where you said, okay, enough is enough, but I'm okay with this?
When I turned 50.
Okay.
When I turned 50 and I started pursuing one, I was going to write a book.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't supposed to be an album, but then I thought about it. I don't want to sit this darkness
Right.
with someone else. And I want you to hear how I evolved
Right.
in life. So it's just really been like the past 2 years that I've actually I'm okay when I can't get out of bed.
Yeah.
I'm okay when I can smile.
Right.
I'm okay when I'm crying because I love her.
Right.
In all her many facets and different ways. And the peace that I have is just unbelievable.
Yes. I love it. Now, when you say, because I know a lot of us say now that I'm okay residing in not being okay.
Yes.
Could you explain that to everyone when you say that? What do you actually mean?
What I mean is I have bipolar that rapidly cycles. I also have PTSD from being violated when I was in the military. And from June 2019 until October of last year, I've had 4 surgeries.
Yes.
And when you go under, you can sometimes wake up in the wrong place.
Right.
And I would always go back to something that was dark. And after like a year-long course in therapy, I just started to look at myself differently. The album helped heal some wounds. And I said, the only way I'm going to move and push forward and be the person that God made for me and walk in my purpose is I had to be okay.
And when you became okay with that, is at the same time that you said, I love myself enough?
Yes, that's when I truly could look in the mirror, no makeup, hair not done. And I didn't even have to be on point all the time.
Right.
You know, and I'm thankful for being a brand ambassador because it gives me a reason to really dress up. But I mean, like earlier today, I was at HEB with a purple rag on my head, a maroon shirt.
We have those days.
No, but it was a time before where you would not catch me.
Oh yeah.
No, you would not catch me. But that's a part of me being okay with not being okay.
Exactly. Now, today, as y'all been seeing with my posts, we are going to be talking about PTSD, bipolar depression, and also anxiety. Now, as y'all wouldn't get to know as we go on, and a lot of people doesn't know about me, is that I also suffer with PTSD, bipolar depression, and also anxiety attacks. So this is something that we live with on a daily basis.
Yes.
It does not mean that we are crazy.
No.
We are normal.
Yes.
But we're okay. And we came down a long path to be okay. And we're coming to bring more understanding to people that feels like it's not okay to be okay. So hopefully by the end of this segment, you'll know it's okay.
Yes.
Yes. Well, we're going to take a small break, and we're going to listen to another one of her tracks. If y'all want it, her track is available on all platforms.
On all platforms, from Amazon to all platforms.
Yes. And as y'all seen today, I was so excited. That's like just really turned my day today. I received my CD in hand.
I saw that.
So
I was like, go ahead.
I was so happy. Yeah, I was like a little kid that just opened up a
Look,
gift.
I saw you. I was like, look at it. I was excited for you.
Yes. Because, for a while I had to go to YouTube just to listen to myself. And, I have a ringtone on my mom. She wanted the ringtone.
Mm-hmm.
So now when the phone rings with me calling her, she hears my voice.
Oh, that's priceless.
So she is very, very proud of me. And
She should be.
I'm proud of myself as well. But
She should be.
after the show, I will give y'all details on how you can retrieve your own copy. Yes.
I'm gonna get mine and make sure it's signed, and I'm gonna put it right next to the book.
Well, I already framed mine. If you've seen it in the cabinet, I heard her put mine in the frame, stamped it, and signed it myself.
And she does that. She's just Spicee is such a giving person that she makes even this type of topic, which no longer is dark and hard for me to carry. She just makes it so inviting. So I'm just honored.
Thank you. I am honored that you're here. I was so excited. This is actually her second time being here.
Yes, so it was a year ago
that
we met, and it was magical then. And I've been watching her grow and magnify, because she's always been a beautiful woman. And you just have to know your worth. And you can see that you know your worth.
Yes, and I'm comfortable with that.
Yes, and if y'all could see where we did it last time to where we are, it was nice then. Okay, but now I'm like, oh, I'm on a whole production. Let's go.
Yeah, we're going to be upgrading more. That's what you call invest in yourself.
That's when you're okay.
Yes, that's when you're okay. That's just like I told one of my friends. I said, I've decided to be celibate and single. And I said, for now I am, because I want to invest and love myself more. When you get in a predicament like I have, and you see that people tend to use you for just as a tool instead of the heart that you possess and the love that you have, and wanting to return it, you say, okay, time out. I want to love on me more.
Yes, and sometimes when you have mental, I like conditions. When you have those and your brain is just wired differently, what we don't understand is we're putting certain things out into the universe that we didn't even know we were doing it.
Exactly.
And because you're not the only person that's attracted broken people.
Yes.
And we're all broken in some shape, form, or fashion, but we know what it's like to hurt. So we tend to want to take care of people.
Right.
And so that's when the different people came. But, you can't help anyone until you help yourself first.
Exactly. And like I said, as we go on and Mr. Robinson joins us, you'll be hearing more about what we're about to discuss. And you'll know it's okay. It doesn't mean you're crazy. It doesn't mean that you're destined to be alone because you suffer with this. You're very special.
Yes,
you're normal.
Yes.
And it's okay to live with it.
Yes. It's like cancer.
Yes.
It's like COPD. It's like hypertension. And it's like being a diabetic. If you do the work, your diabetes goes under control. If you do the work, your hypertension comes under the control. You do the work, you can still lose the weight, get off the cigarettes, so the COPD gets better.
Yes. Well, we're going to take a small break. And this is I Am FIIRE with Enough is Enough.
Enough is enough.
And you're not enough. You're not good enough.
Dear Stephanie, I don't feel like I'm good enough, and it's horrible to feel this way. This has to be a generational curse that must be broken. My mom was broken. I was broken. My sister was broken. My daughters have been caressed by brokenness. My granddaughter, Alea, God, I'm asking you on bending knees and thanking you in advance. She's set free for not allowing the weapons of brokenness and feelings that she's not enough to prosper in her life.
Because she is enough.
Many nights I cried myself to sleep. I just wanted to know, God, why me? Why am I not enough?
You're not enough.
Who's going to teach me how to self-love? Who's going to show me what I am enough is meant to signify?
You're not enough.
My mother's passed on to heaven. My father, God, who is he? Let me gaze into his eyes. I want to see a glimpse of me. Oh my goodness, that would be heavenly. Enough is enough. I blamed my parents. Why did I have to be conceived? Remember, no questioning God.
No.
He handpicked your mom and dad. Their DNA was required to make the perfect me.
Perfect me. What is that?
I don't feel perfect.
No way. No
I
how.
feel inadequate.
Inadequate.
Unloved.
Unloved.
Stupid. And despised by the very woman who gave birth to me. For the longest, I believed she loved heroin more than me. I'm telling you, enough is enough. My cup runneth over with low self-esteem. My best friend, low self-esteem, never let me down. Held my hand and caressed and kissed my forehead when I was scared. Why was I not enough? Will I ever be enough?
Why was I not?
I was bullied, teased about my hair, my clothes, and my hygiene. Look, I'm not complaining. I'm confused.
I said I'm confused.
I have to believe my grandparents did the best they could.
The best thing.
I didn't hear many "I love you, Stephanie" growing up. How was I supposed to know how to love me?
What is self?
Enough? I'm not enough.
You're enough.
Living with this state of mind crippled and poisoned every area of my life. Motherhood, marriage, friendship, finances, relationship with God, and my self-worth. I accepted poor treatment by my own hand, as well as the hands I allowed to caress me. At times, I even treated my children poorly. If I knew how...
Okay, it went off real quick. Thinking what it was, I'll press the button. Okay. That is I Am FIIRE with Enough is Enough. Now, she explained to y'all already that about the CD and everything. And now we have with us Mr. Dwight Robinson. How we doing, Mr. Robinson?
I'm doing good.
You doing good?
Doing good.
He's gonna spit us something later on. This is Poetry Month, so we're gonna be doing something today. You are gonna be listening to I Am FIIRE. Also, you'll be listening to myself. I'll be playing one of my tracks as well. And so y'all just sit back, enjoy, and just take it all in. Now, what we talked about was what we're going to discuss is the first thing is going to be about bipolar. And it says, what is bipolar? Bipolar disorder is a serious mental condition that causes major abnormalities in mood, thoughts, energy, and behavior. The kind of changes that causes noticeable impairments to your day-to-day life. We all have ups and downs, but people with bipolar disorder experiences these extreme states called mania and depression, though they may also go far stretches when they have no symptoms at all. These intense moods shift can interfere with personal relationships, harm careers, and disrupt your ability to just get through.
I like that one.
Yes. Now, we're going to start with Miss FIIRE so she could kind of tell us what she thinks about that and give her own insight as well. Because, there's actually 50,000 Americans that suffer with this.
That seems like a no number. That must be the number that's just checked in.
Yeah. But I believe, honestly, there's more.
No, it's a whole lot more.
Yes, especially now since the pandemic's been going on.
Oh my gosh. And when you're dealing with mental health issues, being alone is not a good thing because you're stuck with your thoughts.
Right.
And me with my bipolar, as I'm a rapid cycler. So 1 minute I can be excessively happy, feeling like Superwoman. I'm on top of the world. I can do anything. And then that crash.
Yes.
And I crash and I'm just crying for no reason. Driving down the street, I'm just crying. I get home. I don't want to do anything. When I wasn't okay with being okay, then my behavior became destructive. And like it said, it affected every area of my life.
Yes.
From being a mother. And that was the hardest because my kids had to walk this with me. And especially my 20-year-old. Because my older 3 kids, they had each other.
Right.
And their dad to have as a buffer.
Yes.
But when I got divorced, became a single mom, and my mania caused my divorce because you become very over hypersexual. You don't think things through because you don't have the tools.
Yes, yes.
And they're still trying to figure out what kind of meds to put you on. And I had to choose insurance for my children or insurance for me.
Exactly.
So as a mom, we're like parents, we're like,
we put our children first.
Right. And so I self-medicated with alcohol to the point where I was going to work like that. But I could function because I just needed something to like calm me down. And the voices in my head was just, it's non-ending.
Right.
And still today, I can be up in the middle of the night and I'm like, can y'all just be quiet? And, I'm talking my thoughts. Can y'all just be quiet?
Yes.
But the freedom that came with me learning to be transparent about it is when I really found the freedom to be okay with not being okay and helping other people.
Right.
So it has not been good. Like I said, it's affected my children. It's affected multiple relationships because it's very difficult to understand.
Right, right.
And people don't know. Well, you look fine. But you know what? That was my technique. If I looked good and it was a mask, you didn't think that I was.
Yeah, that you suffered with an illness.
Right. But when I fell apart, they were like, well, what's the big deal? You always hold it together. You have a job. You're a nurse. Why can't you get it together? Why can't I get it together? If I could, I would.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're still human, so you got feelings.
Yes.
Exactly. Now, with Mr. Robinson, not only do you suffer with illnesses, which is the illnesses that you suffer with?
Panic attacks.
Yes.
Panic attacks. And, what happened to me was in my younger days, I work at some places, and now I've been shot at, but not hit by no bullets. So when you get that happen to you so many times, I used to wake up shaky and everything.
Yes.
And they diagnosed me with that because of the behavior and stuff I've been through. I'll give you a prime example. When panic attack can just hit you, and I remember one time my brother got sick, and I used to come from Austin, San Antonio. Now, me going, get to Seguin. I got to Seguin. I was on the expressway. I was going about 80, 90 miles per hour. Panic attack hit me. It just hit me. Wow. And I didn't know how I was going to get off the expressway. My hands clammed up, my breathing. So I was able to get on the right side of the road. But the funny thing about it is the fire station right across the highway.
Yes.
My hands were so like this, I couldn't even dial 911. And I was just shaking. I couldn't get my breath. So lucky for me, it was a guy come by. This young kid came by. I waved him down. He called the fire department. They came over. They checked me out. They said, you have like a panic attack. Your heart is up. So they sat there, waited for them to calm down. They said, you need to go to the hospital. I said, no, I'm fine. Soon I got back in the car, bam, it happened again.
Yes.
It happened again.
Yes. Now, you also work with mental.
Yes, I do.
Mental.
Special.
Yes.
Special people.
Special people.
I had some people ask me some questions. And a lot of these people I work with, some of them was doctors, judges, lawyers. I mean, they had some kind of bad activity that happened in their life, and it just snapped.
Yes.
They was never the same again. They had a hard time coping with life, and the family didn't want to take them in, so they give them to the state and we help take care of them and everything. Make sure they take their medicine and Just like what's the guy they're talking about now, Joy Floyd? Or something?
Yes.
They were saying something about him as well because his mental state. And I understand what he was saying. They have him in that car, going to a certain attack.
Yes.
And that's the reason why they drug him out the car. And I guess the police was thinking he was just saying that because he didn't want to go to jail. But we know what happened with that. So, but panic attacks, anxieties are something that you deal with on a daily basis. I deal on a daily basis anyway.
So is it kind of hard, or is it a battle, being that
it's hard. I mean, that's one reason why I work out so much. It helps me with my anxiety and panic attacks.
So you find different tools to actually bring you back at peace.
Yeah, you have to find something that can give you peace, calm you down. I'll give you another example. When I moved into my apartment, I was even talking to my neighbor Keisha about it. The ambulance came to my apartment 7 times. 7 times. I had a panic attack, passed out, and I was trying to get back up. I just kept passing out. They kept me in the hospital, I think, for a week to check to make sure I was okay and everything. So it says you got to take that medication. You got to find that outlet that help you with this. It's not easy sometimes. You have some of those days.
It's a fight. It's a fight. Yeah, this one here. Let's see. I got to put my other eyes on. It says brain chem. It's known for the certain causes bipolar disorder, but its causes may include brain chemistry, genetics, drug and alcohol abuse, stressful or disturbing events.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
It's so true. Especially with the hereditary part in bipolar. It runs in my family. I can say it started with my mother, and my mother was a heroin addict.
Yes.
Who I lost when I was 11. That's why the first tract is I'm 10 years old. And we were staying in a hotel because we had lost everything. My mama was an executive at USAA. So I can understand when Dwight says you have that break and you just lose it.
Yes.
And in our community, we don't talk. We sweep things under the rug.
Exactly.
Because it's like, oh, if you're damaged, you're damaged. No, how about I was born this way? And do you really think anyone chooses to have panic attacks? Do you think anyone chooses to have bipolar? And like I said, my daughter, my kids didn't know who they were going to wake up to.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know who I was going to wake up to.
Exactly.
And at one point they had me on 24 pills a day. Wow. And I just wanted to be numb.
Yeah. And it gets like that too. Cause I mean, not just when I lost my sons, but even before then, I experienced my first panic attack when I was 12 years old. And I actually didn't know what it was. I thought I was actually having a heart attack.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
And the first episode I had, I was like, my whole body just locked and froze. And it's like the only thing that moved was a tear coming down my face. But when it actually released, it was just like,
it's like you've been holding your breath that entire time.
With me, the traumatic thing came from with those was the fact that being exposed to domestic violence.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
You know, that's why I say a lot of people don't understand. You got to be careful what you put before your children, because you don't know how it's hindering them in life.
That's right.
And I didn't realize it was a panic attack until actually I got 15. I kept it a secret for a while because I didn't want to put it on my mom. She was going through enough, dealing with my dad, and I just kept it in.
Which is not good.
And the more I kept it in, it was eating at me.
It does. It does.
And it caused me to build anger.
And yes.
And, it is one thing. It's like, it's not something easy that you could deal with day by day. Some days are good. Some days are tremendously bad, to where I had to just separate myself from everyone. And what was the most hurtful thing is that there's times I had to separate myself from my kids. And I have to lock myself in that room and just take that moment to myself just to deal with it. And taking the pills like, Seroquel and,
lithium.
Yes.
Lamotrigine.
I didn't want to keep taking that. And I can't remember the one medicine they had me on. And this is what made my mind up, was that it stopped me from breathing.
Yeah, they do.
When I had woke up, it was like, it's like snapped through or whatever. My daughter, my son, my friend was right here, and I'm like, why y'all looking at me? Why you standing over me like this? I didn't realize that I had stopped breathing.
At least you had someone there.
So thank God somebody was there.
Yes.
So we had to discontinue that medication. But when I was like, there's got to be another way other than medication.
Oh, and it is.
And that's when I got into meditation.
Yes.
And meditation to me is a form of medication.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to say, just like situations like losing both my sons, because they coded in front of me.
Wow,
You know, I had to be medicated.
Yes.
I wanted to just be out of there. When I go through stress, which a lot of people don't understand, you know, I work for the post office. I'm going through a lot of stress there. You know, especially when
right
you're dealing
now.
with harassment,
Yes.
placing you in a hostile environment, and also discriminating you against your disabilities.
Wow.
Yes, that's a lot.
And it's a lot to take in to where, you know, I have to look at my story and say, look, I need for you to stop this right now. I can't take it. I'm warning you, because when that breaking point comes, there's nothing y'all could do.
Nothing. But allow it to break.
Exactly.
And then
But
try
then
to
they
recoup.
exactly, and
But
instead of them trying to stop it, when that person want to break loose, you don't understand that at that point you want to walk them out, but you're not understanding they have an illness.
Yes.
You're not understanding what they've been through. That's why I've always said, when you're at work, be careful how you handle people,
Yes.
because you don't know what they go through when they're not clocked in.
That's
Mhm.
right.
That's
right.
it.
That's right.
And you do your best not to bring it,
Mm-hmm.
but when it's constantly evolving in your mind, what can you do?
Yes, exactly. But I also know that all three of us can relate that we also been traumatized by relationships.
Well, I've been mostly, a little bit of relationship and a little other things that go with that.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. In relationships. And I think, and I mean, Stephanie, Miss Fire, you can,
It's okay. I'm both.
you can kind of jump in as well. But with me, with relationships, failed relationships, is because I wasn't given that example on what a healthy relationship was, to where I felt I was attracted in a magnet to the wrong type of men when it came down to abuse, when it came down to, and it's sad because I sit back and I think, okay, you know what I've been through. You know what I dealt with. Why would you come and want to do more?
Because it's the stigma. It's like, well, you stayed. If you stayed, you that must be what you want. But I'm saying, no, I want to be loved. I want somebody to be a support to help me get through this. And the one that just really broke me is, you know, this man said, I'm going to be the best thing for you. The first 6 months was like Pretty Woman. I had everything. I mean, when I say everything, we traveled, you know, just nice jewelry. All my kids got to do things that I never thought I would do. Then slowly but surely, bad day.
Yeah.
And next I'm just getting pushed.
Yes.
Then next I'm being grabbed. And I'm going to say something about that I never said. We were at Walmart one day and I said something that he didn't like. And he urinated on me in the Walmart parking lot.
Wow.
After that, I vowed never to get cloth seats again because I had to drive home like that. And I'm like, you really? But I stayed.
Well, let me ask this. He urinated on you.
Yes.
Is something wrong with him?
Yes. It is a track on there, the devil. I'm in love with the devil. He was the devil. And I had
you have to get to say that.
Yes, you do. And I had the key and the code to hell. And like I said, I tend to, and as I look at my pattern, and I did extensive therapy with DBT. It's dialectical behavioral therapy. Because like you said, trauma. I had trauma at a young age.
Yes.
So when you have trauma at a young age, what people don't understand is you're stuck at that age.
Yeah.
And what I was doing is I was going through life being a mother, but with 11-year-old mentality. I was in the military with 11-year-old mentality. I was in life with an 11-year-old mentality because I stopped growing.
Wow.
I didn't get any tools to help me be successful. So I threw temper tantrums. Just like a kid,
you
know, and I made poor decisions like a kid. And I was raised by my grandparents. They did the best that they could, but that gap in time, we don't talk about this.
Right.
We don't do this. You know, I'm like, what's wrong with me?
Right.
Because it didn't make any sense. I'm making straight A's. I'm in National Junior Honor Society. Because I will tell you this, most people who have a mental health condition are extremely smart.
I was gonna say
exactly.
They are we are
Yes,
extremely.
No, I'll give you a prime example. I have a daughter. She just turned 20, and she's going through depression right now. She's very smart, very book smart, but she's suffering from the same thing, depression. And you're right about that. So very smart.
Now, we want to say thank you, Mr. Vincent D. Webb, for tuning in. He says this one touches home in many ways.
Wow.
Then also we have Roxanne Adams. She says, good evening. This one is real because I deal with bipolar depression and PTSD. Well, PTSD.
That's it.
It's okay.
It's okay. We all know what you're talking about.
Thank you.
It's all mixed together.
Thank you.
Lovely Vibe says, good evening, Queen. Hey, baby. Roxanne says, I've had to go through therapy and I still go through counseling.
Yes, I do.
And therapy. You never stop because
No.
I'm going to tell you, only because you have one therapy session doesn't mean that you're going to be okay for life. I've even found myself to where I feel like I'm at that point to where, okay, I need to go back to get some more tools.
Yes. And I suggest to anyone to look up DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy. It is a year-long course that you work with a group of people, and you also do one-on-one with a therapist every week. That is when I literally opened up wounds that I did not want to deal with.
Yes.
Because I was in survival mode.
Right.
And a lot of times we just want to survive.
Exactly. That's
But
all.
I'm looking at all these people living, and I didn't realize it was a grave difference.
Yes.
So I was like, wait a minute, I want to live. And I had to be okay with every day not looking whatever picture perfect is. And my picture perfect days are maybe totally different than yours.
Yes.
And I'm okay with that.
Yes.
But I had to learn that. So in DBT, I learned skills like being gentle with myself. And I
Exactly.
cannot get out of bed. I learned the stop skill. Okay, Stephanie, just stop. Think about what you're doing. Observe your surroundings. And if you need to tell somebody something, you can breathe through it.
Exactly.
And then you say, then you proceed.
Exactly.
So and when I do that, I give myself a chance to come down.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of people feel ashamed that they have.
They're embarrassed. Yeah, they're embarrassed.
And I don't, they shouldn't be ashamed. A lot of people are afraid to talk about their problem. They think they gotta be crazy or something wrong with them. You gotta be afraid to tell nobody you have panic attacks and anxiety attacks. That's it's an illness, and we all have to find out where.
You're not alone on it. You're not alone. But I'm gonna tell you, if you want to call in, the line is open. It's 512-668-2814. That's 512-668-2814. And please stand by because we have more for you as we talk about mental illness. But as you also see across the screen, you see scrolling by is a number. If you know anyone that needs help, that's a 24-hour open line. Know that you can use it.
Yes, you can.
We're now going to go to a small break, and this is my very own track.
All right, let's go.
The Heart and Heart. My mind is exhausted from the pain, and I just can't take no more. Heart miles became weary of trials, throbbing in open sore. Patience has eventually expired throughout the dreary years. My eyes became completely drained, dry behind one's tears. Boldly, loneliness has stood still, constantly knocking at my door. Quietly awaiting change, one realized she refused doing it anymore. Countless chances has hurtled out on what I refuse to clearly see. Look closely within and acknowledge what one have inflicted upon me. My weakening heart has slowly hardened towards becoming totally warned. The muscles in coordination with me have completely been scorned. God witness towards clear blue sight, hindermost all you have put me through. So the deepening applied afflicted wounds, my friend, is all solemnly on you. Be mindful of the heartless flowing words through parted lips that one shall say. For letters applied and moments clicking, calculation will equal out towards double pay. He lacks acknowledgement towards pain that dwells within depths of my heart, slowly resulting in cause for my love inward, deep, to be torn completely apart. One merely refused insurance of respect as I had devotedly supplied to you. So my love for him eventually diminished and validated to be totally through. Contemplating would you have sacrificed all desiring truly wanted to be with me? Deciding my value and shedding one more tear and demanding finally setting all free. So I slowly closed the lids, blocking out one radiant stream for glaring people light. Visualizing pulling you closely, breathing, rapping, and one holding me extremely tight. Elevation of the heat rise as our lips start to momentarily, gently, and instantly touch. Speed per hour, one's heart races in time towards minutes hand becoming no matter of such. As the shades coverage to sighted vision drifts, state as each one began to eventually open up. Drunken emotion swiftly pours, smoothly rising above, heightened thin glass rim cup. Mirrored reflections imaged in the form, optical sight, clearly translated appearance of me. Drawed feelings from my strongest muscle, sustained battles, flight, letting things just to be. Acceptance sometimes being alone is healthier than having someone's loneliness range. Love never costs one single dollar towards acknowledgement of an hardened heart's change.
Oh.
Thank you, thank you. That is also available on all platforms. And as of today, I'll be giving you details on how you can get a hard copy from me directly. I already put mine in the frame, so I'm excited. I'm excited.
Should be.
You should see my mom. She was just like, oh my goodness. It's beautiful. Marissa McKinney, thank you for tuning in. She says my mantra is knowing real love means knowing how to love yourself first. Yes, yes. And then also Lovely Vibes gave a clap. Rosalie Davis and Vizian Ona. Hey, hey, hey. And also we also have, what's it? Lovely Vibes. Yeah, I'm gonna be asking y'all comments later on. So just stand by. But you said we wanted to talk about also triggers.
Yes.
So one thing I do want to bring up is that it wasn't until I was 32 that I found out, 32, that I actually found out what I was suffering with. For years, I thought I was crazy. I didn't know what was going on with me. And it was like, when I finally went to go see a doctor and I went to see a counselor, that's when I was told what I was suffering with. And I didn't know and understand what it was and what it came from.
Right.
So it's like I had to do research, but I had to also ask questions.
Yes.
And knowing that traumatic things that happen in your life can cause this.
Yes.
True.
There's no age on developing this.
No.
It could come at birth. It could come in your teens. It could come as your youth.
That's right.
In your 20s, 30s, it just everybody develops at different times.
Exactly. And so we discussed a while ago about the triggers.
Yes. Most of the time, if you've gone through some form of traumatic experience to deal with what we're dealing with, and there are triggers that those triggers are letting your mind know that this is not a good situation right now. And it's to really, the triggers help protect you. Because I can sit and see a particular drink. It has nothing to do with the person. And I'm looking at that drink and it takes me back to where that particular drink was hurtful to me. And it took me to a very dark place, or it was associated with something that was dark. So then I had to learn, okay, listen to your triggers. When it happens, go away.
Exactly.
That's right.
And see, I don't make no excuse. I don't make no apologies for who I am. I just want to bring awareness to mental health. I just want to let people know that this is not something we choose, but you do have to choose to take care of yourself.
That's true.
So it wasn't easy because in about 2015, I started trying to do DPT, but I wasn't ready to undig and open up. And in that, I learned that there is a cause for everything.
Yes.
It's not just, okay, I'm having panic attacks. I'm having panic attacks. He told you being shot at. You know, Spicee went through with her sons. I went through the loss of my mother and then being raped when I was 18, when I was in the military. And he told me, he said, don't you tell nobody. Because if you do, I'm going to make sure you get a dishonorable discharge. And I didn't want to come back to what I had left.
Yeah. And I want to make a comment about that because being raped, I was raped twice in my life. Once at 17, the other time at 32. And it's not your fault.
No.
It's not your fault. You don't ask for it. And one thing people got to understand, I know we make comments about, you know, women exposing their bodies and this could be there's no cause for a person to attack you.
That's right.
There is also no justification for them to attack you. You know, no means no. That's the bottom line. But don't think that after that situation has happened that a person is okay.
No, because you're not.
I dealt with locked doors. You know, even to this day, it's like I go through the house and I make sure every window, every door is locked. You know, I close even my door, even though the front door is locked and closed. You know, anybody getting too close to me, or like if a guy walk up to my car, I start to panic because we have been put in that place. Now, each person responds differently,
right,
when they have suffered something like that.
Right.
You know, some you might not understand. Some do end up resulting into prostitution.
Yes, because there's a two sides you can go on.
Yeah.
For example, with me, I was so angry at men because I did try to go above him to his superior. And as soon as I walked in the door, the first thing he said was, didn't he tell you not to say nothing? So from 18 to 38, I never spoke on it.
Wow.
Now I'm in relationships and I tried to take it out on every man. You're not going to break me. I'm fixing to get you back. But they didn't deserve that because of what he put me through. But can you imagine 20 years drinking, migraines? I was a cutter because the pain would get so bad that I felt that was my way of releasing. But it was not until I got out of survival mode.
Yes.
And I wanted to live and I wanted some answers.
Yes.
I wanted to know, okay, first of all, why me? And then I have this thing on one of the songs says, no questioning God.
Yes.
So, but God and I had to sit down and have a conversation. And he said, Stephanie, I needed you to go through these things for something later in life.
His purpose.
And which is his purpose for me. So none of us sitting up here today was an accident. You know, you can even look, we all got on black shirts. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Wow.
You know, look,
we didn't plan it either.
We didn't even, and I really was going to have something else on, but you know, with being the brand ambassador, I always do my best to put that, you know, envious fashions out forward.
And
so
she wears it well. Y'all ought to see the video. I'll be seeing in slow motion.
That's Miss Pat Moore. She be doing her thing behind the camera.
Yes, fabulous. But I mean, you know, that certain things like that, especially rape, it could bring on PTSD. You know, they're just like somebody going to war.
Yes.
They had the PTSD. Because my dad, he came from the Saudi Desert Storm. And my mom said ever since he came back, it was just shaking in the bed and, you know, screaming and jerking. You know, it don't have to just be wars, rape. It could be abuse. It could be the neglection of a parent.
Yes.
It could be the fact of being abandoned.
Yes.
That can fall you into this category. You know, anxiety could be brought onto that because the fear of being abandoned.
Yes.
Fear of being alone.
Yes.
Fear of being hurt. You know, this is things that could be bringing it on.
Yes.
So the trigger point, I'm going to tell you like this. When it comes down to me, my trigger point is don't step up to me.
Yeah, don't get in my space.
Don't get in my space.
No.
Because that's a set defense.
Yeah.
But also, when you attack me or talk to me with certain tone of a threat, that is a trigger point.
Yes.
You know, my youngest brother, he tried to smother me with a pillow a long time ago. So closing me in or holding me down brings me back to that point of suffocation.
Yes.
To where I have anxiety. So if anybody was to grab me to hold me down, no, don't hold me back.
Because you don't know what you will do to protect yourself.
Exactly.
And then that's when they want to say, oh, well, now you're going to end up in the hospital. Okay, but did you ask me what happened that led up to that? And what makes a person think it's okay to take someone back to a very dark place?
Right.
And what people don't understand, like I've had 5 surgeries. I had to learn to talk again because my right vocal cord is paralyzed. Yeah. And
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I mean, I thank God for you because when it came down to the CDs, and remember I told you, I said, I can't do nothing on the CD because everybody always complained to me about me having a raspy voice. And you was the main one that came through and say, look, Spicee,
you need to do
if I can do it
thank you
with a paralyzed vocal cord, you can do it with your raspiness.
Yes. And it just gives it realness. If you sit, you need to sit and listen to her. It gives you realness in the way she puts her son in. Man, it's a beautiful thing. How about you just get your own? I'm not gonna tell you about it. There. That's how we do that. But this is just a place where I just didn't see. And one thing leads to another thing. That can lead to another thing. That's one thing after another thing. It's bad. And like I said, my grandparents did the best that they could.
Right.
I have to say my mother did the best that they could. But addiction is also an illness.
Yes.
Alcoholism is an illness. And you can go one way or you can go another way.
Exactly.
Free will.
Exactly.
But you go to what you think is going to take care of you. You know, I would never let anyone see me not with that mask on.
Yeah.
And it feels so good not to.
Yes.
You know, I know who I am. If I'm not going to be in front of a camera, there's no makeup. You know, hair is out. I will walk out with the bonnet on. Okay, I will take it off because, you know, but I found that freedom.
Yes. Because I know I have my people on job, they be like, okay, is this you? Yeah, that's me. And they're like, well, what happened here? I said, I don't care.
That's still me.
I feel good without to me, I call it war paint. Because when I go out and put on makeup, I'm going out for a purpose. I'm going out to make a stand.
Right.
But then when you see me at home, I don't have that makeup on.
She doesn't need it, y'all.
Yes.
None of us need it, okay?
Yeah.
No, this is my way of giving back. My baby's in town, and I call her my makeup artist.
Oh, my goodness. Y'all got to look her daughter up. Oh, my goodness. She does professional makeup.
She's a beast.
I sit there and watch her video, and I still can't get it.
No.
So I say, if I need it, I'm just going to contact
That's
her.
the best way to do. Contact Miss Nice.
Because even in her videos, I can't catch it.
Look, I will pause. And then I'm like, okay, she taught me before she went back to school. She says, Mom, you're going to have to learn how to do something. So I said, okay. And I use the same brushes over and over. You need to clean your brushes. So today she was like, my brushes aren't clean. I said, I have some, the whole one. They still in the plastic. But talking about triggers, just going back. Now, my right vocal cord is paralyzed, so I cannot project. I cannot yell.
Mm.
I live alone.
Yes.
My daughter's off in school. So this is me when someone is invading my space.
Yep.
That's as loud as I can get. And what is that going to do?
Yeah.
So then it makes me anxious. But if we go back to our childhood, a lot of people say we didn't know what to do. We told somebody and they swept it under the rug.
Or you supposed to leave it in the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
In our community, you leave it in the house. You don't talk about it.
Not that bad. Not go outside of this house. What goes on in this house stays in this house. And I think that's the number one problem that families are having today, because you're keeping things in the house when you really need to look at, I need to get them help.
But see, that's when it starts with us, because you have to realize our grandparents and stuff were so close to slavery. They were so close to, you know, white people here, black people here. So they were in survival mode. And that's when I say they gave the best that they could. I asked a young, I call her a young lady, but she was 69. I said, why do you think you all never really said, I love you? And she said, when you see slavery and you go through slavery and you don't know if today your child's going to be taken from you, you learn to detach. So you are setting that child up to be okay. Because if you loved on them and coddled them, and then they snatch them up and take them somewhere else, trauma can snatch you up and take you somewhere else, and you're still in the same room with everybody.
And you know, it's good that you say that, because I remember when my big mom used to tell me, she says, it's not good that you're that close to your mother. And I used to think that was kind of cruel to say, you know, but when you think about it, it's exactly the way you're putting it. Because if, God forbid, anything happened to my mother when I was a child, I wouldn't have been okay.
And I wasn't.
I wouldn't know how to function in detaching from her presence. You know, we love our mothers, and we, you know, they, you know, no matter what, we're going to be a part of them, but we got to prepare that child to be detached.
That's right.
And see, I became a better mother with each child, because my children are different. And I literally, before starting this therapy, I wrote each one of them individual letters. And I said, okay, I apologize to you. I had to let them know you didn't do anything.
And see, that was my next question, was because dealing with this and having children, you have to explain to them what's going on, because they don't understand. Why is mama quick to go off? Why is mama crying? Why is she happy one minute? What she said? And I had to take a moment, and there's times I still have to remind, like my daughter and my son, of the illness I have. It's not you.
No.
But when I need that space, or if I feel like I'm just overcrowded, especially like too many questions, I can't take that. Don't bombard me with a bunch of questions.
But she will bombard you. I'm just saying. I just thought I'd throw that out there. She's good with her questions, though. She will do her research. I'm looking for the clipboard. Normally, she had a little clipboard. The first time, no, we had to laugh. Sometimes when a situation is so heavy, you have to know when to laugh.
Yes, but I know, and I'm gonna ask both of y'all, because I know with me, I had to tell from my second oldest son to my daughter to my baby boy, to let them know that I do suffer with the mental illness, that I do. They know I have anxiety attacks, you know, but when the bipolar depression sets in, they don't understand. Well, mama, why are you always in the bed all the time? Why you close the door? You need to get out, you know. It comes a point where mama needs to be separated, because she's dealing with this here, because of everything she's been through. Those are scars.
Yes.
So I had to sit down and talk to them one-on-one. Now, I did, as a mother, like you did as well, I did have to apologize.
I did. I
You
really
know,
did.
especially when they was exposed to domestic violence, I had to apologize to them. And so I'm gonna say over to, you know, Dwight, with you having the panic attacks, how was you able to break that? Because you have a set of twins.
Yeah, I have
and an older son.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I never too much show my kids, you know, because they seen enough of that. They see me go into a panic attack and they get real scared, and my daughter and my kids get real scary. But I just told them my life experience, what brought it on. Like I said, my daughter, she went through something, and she's going through depression. So I can understand that pain that she goes through. and helping her with that. And like she was saying, spiral stuff, certain things trigger it and everything, and some things do trigger it.
Yes.
But like I said, I pray. I guess that's why I work out so much. Because when I work out, that just takes me to a whole different area where when I work out, I feel less stress. And especially if I feel one coming on, it just helps me.
Yes. Yes.
I just do that all the time, and try to continue talking. That's why I call you sometimes. So it's good to have people.
Yes, have people that in your circle to talk to, reach out to.
Yeah, because that can definitely help you when you just need to talk. And get that
Yes, yes. And Fire, I know you mentioned that you wrote them letters, apologizing to them. Was there ever a time where you had to sit face to face with them and say, "This is what I had to suffer with"?
Yes, but sometimes kids can make it hard.
Yeah. Yes.
Because they don't come with a handbook.
Mm-mm.
Parenting doesn't come with a handbook.
It surely doesn't.
And when you pile on top my past, and it's like, now, you know what? If I really thought about it, I said I would probably have taken God's purpose into my own hands. And I said, why would I want to have kids? Why would I want to bring them to me?
Right.
But then now when I get them telling me, like the other day, I was in the gym because working out does help. And especially when some of the meds put weight on you. And you don't understand that. Like they're not really asking for 20 or 30 extra pounds. But when it will slow your mind down, you're like, okay, this is even worse. My mind slowed down. So now all I'm thinking about is I'm overweight. I'm thinking about I'm tired. So I started going back to the gym. And then my daughter puts this post up saying, you know what, Mom? You are an amazing woman. And
you're gonna make me cry. Oh my goodness.
I've seen all that you've come through.
Yes.
And to get to the place that you are now, you could, like I said, just 3 years ago, you couldn't have told me that I would be sitting here discussing having a mental illness. I wouldn't have never told anybody, yes, I was raped. I wouldn't have never told anyway. But you know what I do? When I tell my story and I'm transparent, I take away the tools. I take away the weapons that you used to could use against me. So now, what? If you don't want to be around me, you're missing out on a beautiful thing.
Thank you. Yes.
Because we are some beautiful souls. And some things we just did not ask for.
And didn't deserve it either.
Nope.
But Gigi says, working out really helps me when I'm stressing. She also says, I was so close to my mom, and when she passed, I almost had a nervous breakdown. I was just hard. For the second time, the first was losing my son. And I can relate to her with that because I lost 2 sons, and I was about to give up on everything. It's something like, because I make my kids more or less, I could say, my life. You know, because when I got divorced and when I left my youngest one's dad, my kids was what I poured my love into. But at the time, I was forgetting about myself. But my kids were number one, you know, because to me, they was innocent. At that time, I felt like they could love me no matter what. They would not betray me. They would not hurt me, you know. But each child is different.
Yes, because that's not always true.
That's not always true. But I could say that I put my love into my children because also I felt like when I had the men in my life, all they did was hurt me. All they did was belittle me. You know, it's just, I couldn't find trust in them. But then I had to step back and say, I should be putting my trust in God.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not in man, but in God. Because that's one person that loves you no matter what.
Yes.
That wants the best for you.
And he doesn't mean for you to suffer.
No, he allowed things to happen to mold you for his purpose.
Yes. And I see you, we got to see that now though.
Yes. And like I said, if y'all want to call in, the number is 512-668-2814. And don't forget, we're going to be having a raffle coming up. Let's see who's the lucky winner of the Easter purse.
I hope you put your purple heart on there.
Yes.
I could have did it more than once. Okay. My thing is if I do, I just want to bless somebody.
Yes, it was
So-
provided by K&L Boutique.
All right, Miss Boutique.
Yes.
Okay.
But right here, these are signs of panic attacks. If y'all look at this, these are different signs. Even though we spoke of some of the signs here, we have, what was that? Nauseousness, chills, or hot flashes. So it's not only with ages that you have that. You also have the sweating, trembling or shaking, as Mr. Robinson spoke of, heart palpitations, numbness, and tingling in fingers.
Part you can't move.
Yes, hyperventilation, and also dizziness. Those are signs as well, which we have spoke of here. So right now we're going to take a short break, and we're going to listen to Beautiful Butterflies by Miss Fire.
Dear Stephanie, time to let go of some shame. And we ain't placing no blame. 4 beautiful butterflies released back to heaven, to their rightful place with God. My womb was too black, too hollow, scarred. I wasn't equipped with the tools necessary to love you and let you know that you were going to be more than enough. 4 beautiful butterflies released. 4 symbolized safety and security of home, the need for stability and strength, with a solid foundation of value and beliefs. See, 4 has such a strong connection with love. For I truly did love each one of thee. 1 of me plus 4 of them equaled 4 of thee. But there was no stability in these relationships. So I let you all fly free. On the 4th day, God created the moon, the stars, the sun. 4 minds, 4 bodies, 4 spirits, 4 beings. I was not going to allow you to feel the pain that I felt. 4 beautiful butterflies. You were definitely going to be more than enough. Paper filled out, money exchanged hands. I went in that white room all alone. The shame I carried has held me down to a point that surpasses low. I often pass by the place where I let you go. It brings back painful memories. Reminds me of all the emptiness that was left inside of me. 4 beautiful butterflies released. 1 of me plus 4 of them equaled 4 of thee. Release number 1, no choice. Release number 2, married with a choice. Release number 3, forced, no choice. Release number 4, he begged me on his bended knees on Mother's Day to keep thee. No choice. Sail across the waters. Sail. You're all free. Sail into heaven. 1 of me, 4 of them equal 4 of thee. My beautiful butterfly released back to heaven, to God, their rightful place. When my womb was too black, too hollow, too scarred. But God, I thank you for forgiving me.
I forgive you, Stephanie.
Yes, yes. And that is burnt love letters to myself. This fire. Now, before we do the raffle and see who the lucky winner is, can you tell us a little bit about that one there? Because as I told you, that's my favorite one. I know most people, when they think about a butterfly, they think about something beautiful.
The first time I got pregnant, I was 15. He was 21. And it was like it was okay. But my aunt worked at Planned Parenthood.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the aunt that would go get my mom out of dope houses.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, no, you're an honor roll student. No, we're not fixing to do this. And I didn't even know what was wrong with me.
Mm.
She came in, and so she was like, no. So that happened. And because of most of these happened before I got my diagnosis for bipolar.
Mm.
Because the month after finishing nursing school, graduating with honors while still in the military and having 2 toddlers.
I got to do this.
Listen.
Yes, yes.
It didn't make any sense why I pulled out in front of a semi.
Mm.
It's like my mind just said that's enough. And so the 4 beautiful butterflies are the 4 abortions that I had. And when I say one of me plus 4 of them, it's 4 different guys. I didn't have any stability. And inside of me, I was hollow, was dark, because I had 2 already.
Right.
And it was just like I was just going through the motions. If you're dressed right, if you have a home, if you have all these other things, you don't have my love. Because I couldn't give you what I didn't have.
Right.
But my thing was, I'm not going to be my mom. I'm not going to leave my kids. I'm not going to be, on drugs. Oh, but never say what you will never do.
Exactly.
Because you don't know. You don't know what life holds. You don't know what's to. And I had to, that was shame and guilt that I had held on to. So that one had to go. It had to be out there. And when I set those free, I let go of shame with one butterfly, guilt with the other butterfly, self-judgment.
Oh, wow.
With one, and I let go of pretending to be someone I was not.
Yes, yes.
So it was like, they came to me for a reason, and I took something that was dark and turned it into something that was beautiful.
Right.
And that's what I had to start doing with my life. I had to turn the things that were dark into something that was beautiful.
Right, right. Now, Mr. Robinson, oh gosh, she got me with chills right now because I can relate so much. How do you deal with the times that you fall into these anxiety moments? Because even with the pandemic going on, well, hopefully it's going to be ending soon.
I hope so.
Yes. But with that going on, but to me, the percentage went up.
Right.
Because now you got to worry about, I'm out of job.
Yeah.
I'm around my abusers more. A lot of people talk about being with the kids too much. How did you deal with that?
Well, I did with it by basically praying, and actually, it just brought me and my daughter more closer together.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't such a bad thing for me. I mean, didn't work because our places closed down. We supposed to be open and making about another month or two. But I just took it as a blessing to get closer to my children. I mean, we just came even closer.
Right.
And just sit there and learn more about each other and open up and talk. So it wasn't really a bad thing for me. I mean, it was more of a, I hate to say it as a bad thing, but it's a blessing in the world to get to know more about my children.
Yes. Now, dealing with relationships, because I know, Mr., you're newly engaged. How are you able to deal with that, knowing that you have to you deal with the anxiety and everything? Because I'm gonna tell you, relationships are a lot of stress.
For one thing, relationships are very. Some of them are very difficult.
Yes.
And if you're mentally not ready for it, you shouldn't do it. I'll tell you
Exactly.
that.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand what you're going through.
And a lot of people can't deal with
They
it.
can't deal with that.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking, if you know, get yourself, in other words, how can I say, work on yourself more before
Yes.
you do anything.
Yes.
Once you able to work with yourself and deal with everything that comes with that, then you'll be able to handle the relationship. And then also get somebody that understands. Because if you don't understand, it's not going to work.
Exactly. Gigi says, I think when we get hurt by a man, we tend to take it out on all men, mostly when it comes to trust. I know I did, being a young mother. But Spicee, you two women are amazing and strong. I admire you and so happy to have met you. Thank you. It's been a joy to meet you. I know we sit in the parking lot. Every time she's supposed to drop off a donation, we end up out there like 15, 20 minutes just talking. Good conversation. But now we're going to go on to see who the lucky winner is. Let's see if we can make sure we mix it up real good. And we're going to let you pull out.
Is it stuck together?
No, I taped it together.
Okay, I was like, I'm really trying to do this.
That's who's going to receive this phone call. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, shoot. Uh-oh.
Here we go.
She just put y'all right here in French. She's just going to call you, okay?
I'm finna call you.
You got your phone. Get it out if you don't. If you know you put a heart on that pack, get your phone out.
You're about to be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. May I speak to Miss Monica Russell?
This is her, ma'am. How are you?
Fine. This is Spicee Gray, Fire, and Mr. Robinson here to congratulate you.
Congratulations.
You won the purse raffle. Yay.
Thank you. Look, I ain't know why y'all calling.
Look, and I pulled the number. See, you see what I'm saying? Okay, see what I'm saying?
See, that's a blessing.
Look, we're just connected.
Y'all too close.
No, we really are close.
You are too close.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I've watched you and watched y'all are close. Did you pick her name?
And I picked her name. And I'm
it
telling
was taped
you.
Together.
It was taped together. I didn't even know.
Wow.
But look, what's so funny is I saw her dialing the number. I'm like, I know that number.
She said, I know that number.
I know that number.
Yes. So you have something to say right now? We're giving you this moment.
Yes. Thank you, ladies. Both you queens. I really appreciate it. This is going to be my early Mother's Day gift.
Yes. She's an amazing mother.
Now, you can't include that because we have Mother's Day raffle coming up as well.
Oh, well, I'm just going to have to add to it. Look, I'm going to have to make sure I do that one too.
Well, congratulations. And I'll be contacting you after the show so we can make arrangements for you to receive your purse. You have a blessed day.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Ain't that her second?
Yeah, that's actually her second
I
one.
was like, girl, I'm saying, and you know what? We are really, really connected, especially even with the age difference. And we were telling our story on a podcast, and I would say something and she would finish it, or I would say something and she would finish it. So it's you know who you're supposed to be around.
Yes.
You know who's supposed to be in your circle.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
That's the thing. And when you work with the other gentlemen, especially people who are not of color, do their families surround them more than we do?
Not really, no.
And see, dang, that's hard.
I mean, I'm just saying.
No, but I was like, I was waiting for it. Yeah, but that is hard because why is it that you feel if someone has cancer, they're surrounded?
Yeah.
If someone has diabetes or they're surrounded.
Yes.
But when you don't understand my moods, you just want to walk away.
Exactly.
And you want me to sit here?
And the safest thing is to allow a person, I'm going to read this comment in just a minute because he just spoke on something that I mentioned earlier. But the one thing, when somebody says stop, if they say enough,
That's it.
If they try to walk, let them walk.
That's right.
Excuse me, dealing with illnesses, we're trying to, how would you say, prevent it from escalating to the wrong level.
Yes. And
when you keep poking and poking and poking, that's a trigger point.
It is. And some people, if you have to be with someone who knows you've been upfront and open with them and you've shared your darkest places, and if they still are poking you and prodding you, that's not the person for you.
And then you want to get mad and tell, this person crazy, I'm calling the law because you was warned.
But you know what? It's people who don't have a diagnosed illness that will still snap.
Yes.
When somebody
poking.
Don't poke the bear.
Give that person that space. Now, what did I want to read right here? It drew my attention. Mr. Arthur Anderson, he says, PTSD from a war made me distant, shaking my head. I was functioning with it, so I couldn't see it. But that's not healthy. Therapy and or counseling were curse words in our community, in our generation. It was affecting all of my relationships, love, family, friends, and business.
I agree. I cannot. My ex-husband, the first one that I was married to, he went off to Desert Storm, and he was infantry on the front line. So he saw his troops blow up, body parts over here, doing this, doing that. I mean, and when he came back, he was not the same man, because I'd wake up and he'd be sitting in the chair with his weapon. And finally, he told me, you need to leave me. You are the kids are not safe.
Wow.
And I was like, well, we can work this out. He said, no. I've been back home about 6 months, and I can tell you, I don't want to hurt you. But sometimes what I see is not you.
Yes.
I see a troop.
Right.
Or I see someone that I have to protect, and then I have to protect you from me.
Yes.
So
that's so hard, because I had an uncle and he was in the war as well. Rest in peace to him. But the thing about it is that Uncle Junior, they thought he had passed away there at the war because they couldn't find him. A year later, they found him in fetal position in a foxhole. But when he came home, he was not the same. He was not the same person that went over there. So, a lot of these veterans, we really do need to show a lot of respect because they do go through a lot and they are under a lot of stress. It's not easy.
No.
Especially when you are taking commands from somebody that's been, I'm going to say it because I was a military brat, verbally, mentally, and emotionally abusive. Because there's a way you talk to a person and a way you don't. And only because you feel like a person should be able to deal with the way you step to them, that doesn't make it okay.
No, and then you have to realize, because even me being a veteran and being a female and having what happened, and then I had to go through my career dealing with that. And so you're looking at every man like, are you the one too? Are you the one too?
Exactly.
And that's not good when you walk around unhealthy and you're like, I cannot hold on to this. But I had to. Can you imagine knowing you've been raped and you can't speak on it for 20 years?
Wow.
So when we here at San Antonio, some things came out at Lackland
Right.
about what traumatizing things that were happening to soldiers in basic training.
Right.
So then they finally put a sheet, and then you had to have a question and go questionnaire. And the first question was, have you ever been sexually violated? And when she said that, I took off screaming and running because I just knew my abuser was somewhere around the corner.
Wow.
It felt like, go to the album.
Yes.
I say it very explicitly
A
how
lot
it
is in that
just happened.
Yeah. Now we have a young one that just made a comment, and I'm so proud of her because she's got accepted to a school. Miss Sierra, she says, I remember my friends thought I was crazy because I was telling them I thought I had PTSD from my past relationship with my abuser. You're not crazy.
No.
You're not crazy. Because yes, you can develop that from past relationships. It could be that traumatic. And, my thought is like, I question sometimes because I was like, why is it that people know that you suffer with this and they use it as a weapon against you?
Yes, they will. Yes.
That's not healthy.
No, it's not. But then the thing is, most people who have been through things don't want to see other people suffer.
Exactly.
So we will give you a chance and a chance and a chance. And then sometimes with my bipolar and other women I've talked to who are rapid cyclers, we get into a relationship either when we're manic or we're depressed, never in that middle point.
Right.
So we ignore those red flags.
Yes.
Like, and when I calm down and I get to my middle ground, I'm like, now, if I'd have saw that, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
And why didn't I see this before now? So you can't, and I take away the stigma. How does mental health have to do anything with crazy?
Nothing at all.
That is just like, that's like.
You might as well said we deserve what we got.
Thank you. And you calling me crazy?
Wow.
No, it's crazy that you would call me crazy.
Exactly.
That's so hurtful. What do you say? Do you say a cancer patient? Oh, you're just cancerous. Do you say to a diabetic, oh, you just got too much sugar and you're not taking care of yourself either? Come on, there's some things that you are born with. There's some things that you went through, and nobody asked for PTSD. Nobody asked for panic attacks. Nobody asked for anxiety. Like, one of my greatest heroes, my sheroes, is my sister. My sister at the age of 14 was shot point blank. So I understand. And then my sister's a miracle. And one day she said, tell you she's going to come on and tell her own story. But I just want her to know that she's fought and she's fought and she's fought. And I just, how you just see, I don't want her to fight anymore.
Yes.
I want you to be at peace.
Yes.
I want you to be okay. But people don't let your past go.
Yes.
And that's another reason that we tend to be held down.
Yeah.
Because people will not let you forget what you did. That's why I tell you what I did. That's why I tell you what I've been through. So you can't use it against me.
Exactly.
Because I know I'm a good thing. I know I'm made in the likeness and image of my greatest creator.
Yes.
The only creator.
Yes.
So when you do the work, we're not saying it's easy. Therapy is not easy.
Nope.
And that was the thing that I was running from. Because I knew it was going to be some lonely days.
Yes.
I knew I was going to be crying. I knew I was going to be hurting in a place that I didn't know how to get out of. And I did a lot of it alone.
Yes. Now, Lovely Vibe says, yes, my first love used it against me to keep me living in fear. That's part of that control. And that's one thing I had to take that out of my ex's hands, because I lived in fear because he had so much control over my mind, over my walk, and over how I lived, to where I was like, you don't control me no more. I'm not going to give you this power. I take this power. Arthur Anderson says, I was so worried about the stigmas and being labeled crazy. I wouldn't seek or accept help. But God,
Say it.
thank you, Spicee, Fire, and Dwight. Even in 2021, this is a subject not easily talked about for a lot of people. No, it isn't. No, it is. But I'm going to tell you this. The first step in healing is breaking that silence.
Yes.
Second step is accepting that it's not your fault. Third step is learning how to love yourself. It's okay to reside in not being okay. Now, right now, we're going to hand it over to Mr. Robinson.
Well, you're going to have to catch me with that next time the thing I wrote. I'll wait for you to do that. I said, wait a minute. I don't have my paper with me. I said, I don't have it, but I promise y'all, next time I come on the show,
we're going to get him next time, or we're going to have him pop in next week.
Well, see, Spicee, no, I talked about the music thing, and then I did write something. I did write it, but y'all, I got sick.
Yes. So we're going to catch him next time. That's what we're going to do.
Y'all definitely will catch me next time.
But remember, this is Poetry Month.
Oh, I love poetry.
So let's give it up for the poets. Yes. So don't be surprised if I send one of y'all a link to click on to pop in on a show and say something. Make it interesting. Yes. Sierra said, I honestly needed this because my abuser was just released from jail and messaged me like nothing ever happened.
And they will do that.
Yes. And Sierra, you see the number scrolling by. If you need anybody to talk to, you know I'm always available for you. You also have Miss Fire.
Yes.
Mr. Robinson, you can hit up. We are here for you.
Yes.
I also have somebody else that you can also speak to. And she's very special to me because she also dealt with somebody that kept finding her as well. So just give me a call or just hit me up and we would be more than glad to talk to you. I thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank y'all for coming.
It's a pleasure and honor.
It's been fire with 3 eyes.
Because I'm just that hot, humble, open, and transparent.
We love y'all.
Tune
in next week. You think this was something? We got Miss Tamara Saree.
All right.
She's standing her ground against Child Protective Services.
Okay.
So we finna hit that head. We finna hit on some heads of some mothers and also get down and gritty about the truth. You have nothing but real talk, real situations here on the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. We will see you next week. And we're going to give this moment right now for food nutrition to Miss Fire and Mr. Robinson.
My food nutrition is you are enough. You have always been enough. And you will always be enough. It is okay to not have every day be okay. But love yourself. And you have to go back to where the trauma started and let that child free. When you let that inner child that was damaged free and tell them, go play. You don't have to watch over me anymore. Then you can take it upon yourselves. We are telling you our stories so you know you are not alone. You don't have to hide. You don't have to wear a mask. Reach out. Don't walk this by yourself, especially if you don't have to. If people are extending that personal invitation to you, because it is a condition and you are special.
Yes.
Now we do some messed up things when we don't get the help. So that's why you need to get the help and acquire the tools necessary to be successful with what you have.
I agree with Fire. You're never by yourself. And just keep praying, keep strong people around you. And mental illness. I mean, you don't know who we have. A lot of us suffer from that. You just stay strong, keep the close people by you, and like Spire says, like Spicee said, you're never alone.
Never
alone. Remember that.
Exactly. Now, y'all tune in next week as we get down and gritty with Child Protective Services. And also, I'm going to let y'all know, go look online on Amazon. Miss Lovely Vibe just released her book. Yes. Called Poetic Garden. Y'all stay tuned, pay attention to my post because I am going to drag her in here. She didn't know it yet, but now she knows. She's going to be on the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour to discuss her book and her journey. Yes.
I'm so proud of her.
I am too.
She would put a thing on with somebody with pink hair. See, that's her. If you have never met her, she's the most colorful person. Yes. It is so beautiful.
I love it. So, to let you know, it's okay to not be okay.
That's right.
Miss Symbolic with I Am Fly.
Hey, hey, hey. I woke up feeling fly today. Got dressed in the mirror and I had to say, girl, you look good today. Don't care how you feeling, cause I was born this way.
Can I have your attention for a minute? Can I use my words to mesmerize your thoughts? And although some people may feel like this is egotistical, can I just explain to you how you're bold and heroic? In case you didn't know it, I just thought I would let you know it. Honey, you're beautiful. You're like a ray of sunshine on any given day. And your award-winning smile and style has the ability to make darkness fade away. You're the bravest person I ever laid eyes on. So go on with your bad self. I commend you for shuffling and dealing with the cards that you were dealt. Even with a half a deck, you handled it so well, you managed to surprise your own self. Give yourself a round of applause and a standing ovation. You deserve this plus more for the way you dominate and how you rise to every occasion. I just want to say congratulations, you were the underdog, yet you still became a master in elevation. Determination should be your middle name. I just love the way you sustain and how you don't let that negative chatter occupy space in your brain. It's plain to see that you are a remarkable and very unique human being. Who wouldn't? I mean, who couldn't love somebody like me?
Woke up and I'm feeling okay. Woke up and I'm feeling okay. Woke up and I'm feeling okay. Woke up and I'm feeling okay.
They say beauty is skin deep, but yet the world judge you by a beat. And whether you're petite, I say through all this defeat, I will still love you unconditionally. I'm not worried what others say about me. I'm a child of God and I'm free to be who He called me to be. Boldly I walk with His light shining through me. When I step out the door, I pray that all my enemies will bow down before me.
I'm feeling okay. Woke up and I'm feeling okay. Woke up, we woke up feeling fly today. Got dressed in the mirror and we had to say, oh, we look good today. Don't care how you feel, cause we were born this way. We woke up feeling fly.
We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly. We fly, that's right, we fly.